Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Garden. Today we're going to take a look at how the tomatoes are doing. I've got, let's see, 6 cherry tomatoes, 3 micro dwarfs, and 10 larger sized tomatoes. A lot of the seeds that I'm growing this year I got from the Rare Tomato Seed Swap on Instagram. And we are a little behind where we're normally at this time of year, but we are finally starting to see some ripening happening. So I'll show you what's first to ripen here in the garden. Let's start here with our 3 micro dwarf tomatoes. This one here is called Aztec, and it is the largest of the 3 micro dwarfs, and it is totally loaded with tomatoes. Nothing ripe on any of these yet, but it's definitely growing quite well over here. The other one is called Birdie Rouge, and this one is also pretty loaded with tomatoes, nothing ripe. Oh, actually, we are starting to see some ripening happening there that I didn't see before, so that's nice. But we've got lots of tomatoes on that one. And then our final one is called Fat Frog. It's a little bit taller than the Birdie Rouge, but not as big as the Aztec. But we've got lots of fruits hiding in that one as well. I have one tomato that I'm growing in a hanging basket this year. This variety is called Shimo Fury, and as you can see, it is variegated leaf, which I just love anything that has variegated leaves. We do have one tomato set here, and by the way, this is a tumbling variety, which is good for containers. I do like growing at least one tumbling variety every year and couldn't pass this one up. We've got another little tomato set there. Not too many tomatoes set on this one yet, but we do have, oh, there's another one back there. We have quite a few flowers, so I'm sure we'll get more here pretty soon. I forgot to mention that 2 of our cherry tomatoes are actually dwarf varieties, one of which I didn't realize was a dwarf until recently. But this one here is the Bendigo Cherry Drop, and it is getting pretty bushy. I don't prune the dwarfs as much as I do the indeterminate tomatoes, but we don't have anything ripe on most of these, but we do have quite a few tomatoes set, and it is actually going a little bit higher than our cage here, but I don't expect it to get too much higher than that. And then our other dwarf here is called Rosita Brandywine. So this was actually the first tomato to get any ripe fruits on it. I haven't actually harvested any, but you can see there we've got lots of color on some of our tomatoes. I think they could get a little bit darker before I harvest those, but this is a variety that is supposed to taste like the Brandywine popular beefsteak tomato, except it's in a cherry size, so I'm looking forward to trying that one. This one here is the only tomato that I did not start from seed myself. I got this one from a friend. It's called Indigo Pear Drop, and it's an antho variety, so it's got purple fruits, and they should be turning red here, I don't know, in a few weeks hopefully. But this one doesn't seem to be nearly as productive as my other cherry tomatoes. By far our tallest tomato in the garden is this egg yolk variety. This was a really popular tomato in my plant sale for some reason. I think people just like the name because it's a pretty rare variety, so I don't think most people have ever heard of it. But it doesn't have a ton of fruit on it, but it's got a few clusters here, and it seems to be setting a lot more here up towards the top. This one here is called Perfection in Pink, and I didn't realize that this one is also an antho variety. There's quite a lot of purpling on these cherry tomatoes, and it seems to be setting some really nice strings of tomatoes there, so I look forward to trying that one. And then the last one we have is Barry's Crazy Cherry. This is one that I grow every single year because it gets these huge sweet clusters of tomatoes. It's called a multiflora variety. Because it produces so much fruit, and it is one variety that I've been growing every year in my garden for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. But I am looking for other multiflora type tomatoes to try, so if there is one that you grow and love, let me know because I would like to try more of these. Over here in this bed, which is a different bed than the cherry tomatoes, we've got our larger tomatoes. This one here is called Prairie Fire, and I just noticed down here we are starting to get one that is ripening up. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Brad's Atomic Grape. It kind of has that swirly colored tomato, but it's kind of Kind of an interesting color, a little bit striped, and even the green ones are pretty cool looking. But I'm looking forward to trying that one. So all of these tomatoes, aside from the Berries Crazy Cherry, are ones that I've never grown before. So very new to me varieties. Now, this one might be the prettiest tomato. This one is called Midnight Roma, and it is a very dark antho colored tomato that I got from row 7 seeds. Nothing is starting to ripen here, but they are very dark purple, especially these ones here towards the top. Really cool shape as well. This one is a larger paste tomato called Salvaterra's Select, and they're getting pretty decent size. They're not huge tomatoes, but they're bigger than the other two that I showed you. Nothing ripening on these ones yet, but they should turn a nice dark classic red color. Next to that one is Inciardi paste tomato. This one is pretty similar shape to the one I just showed you, except I think this one might be slightly larger. It doesn't look like it's nearly as productive as the other one though. There's not a whole lot of fruits set on this one. And the good thing though is that I'm not seeing any blossom end rot on any of the tomatoes yet this year. Usually these paste tomatoes can be more prone to that, but so far so good. Now here we have a nice classic Bonnie's Best variety, but this one is called Henry's Bonnie's Best because it was saved over generations from someone on Instagram's family. So they've kept the best tomatoes to save seeds from every year, and these should be perfect. Here we have another antho variety. This is a larger variety called Sergeant Pepper or SGT Pepper. You can see some nice antho coloring on these tomatoes, and they should ripen to a beautiful red and purple color. I tried growing this one a couple years ago, but the seeds I had were not true to type, so these ones look a lot more like what they're supposed to look like. So I can't wait to try these ones. And it seems to be a pretty productive plant too. Now these last two are decent sized beefsteaks. This one here is the persimmon. It's not getting nearly as tall as the other tomatoes. I don't know if it's a semi-dwarf or not, but we do have a few tomatoes set in here, but not too many, maybe 5 or 6. They're still fairly small. I expect they're gonna get a lot bigger. These beefsteaks usually take a longer growing season, so hopefully they have enough time to ripen. And then the one next to this is called Golden Queen, and we have a few tomatoes set on here, but they're also fairly small. So I don't know, hopefully we have enough season left for these guys to ripen, but they're not quite as big as the persimmon, at least not yet anyway. So hopefully they grow bigger soon. Now the last two tomatoes are here in the greenhouse with the peppers, which are turning into a jungle over here. But this one in this corner is called the Shibli Lebanese. So this came from a coworker who brought seeds back from Lebanon. So he didn't know what variety it was, but he saved seeds from a supermarket tomato. And it's supposed to get really, really huge tomatoes. So far, they're still fairly small, so they have a lot of growing to do, but hopefully here in the greenhouse, they'll reach maturity. There's quite a few tomatoes set on there, but they should be getting much, much bigger. And in the other corner is one I've been growing for several years that I got from the Modern Day Settler. This one is called Fortunia, and it's one of her family's heirloom tomatoes, and it gets tons of huge paste type tomatoes. Look at how big this one is. So this one should start ripening pretty soon because I don't think they usually get too much bigger than that. We have a few pretty decent sized tomatoes set on this one, so we should get a pretty good harvest off of this guy yet again. It never disappoints when I grow it in the greenhouse, but if I try growing it outside the greenhouse, it just does not do nearly as well. I hope you enjoyed this update on my tomatoes. As soon as we get all of our cherries to ripen up, I plan on doing a cherry tomato tasting. Oh, look at that big guy back there. This one here is a monster. But anyway, I'll be doing a cherry tomato tasting hopefully in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.